to do. I say no, I say no. Captain, you tell me what to do. SOS, SOS, Mayday, Mayday. The St. Lucia, a luxury liner, sailing the Caribbean Sea, with a good old captain named Sir John Compton. For years, sailed smooth and free. But sadly, Sir John Compton passed away. His team lost election that day, and the mantle passed over to Kenny and Team Labour. My blood crawl, things start to fall. Hold me head when I say that ball. If you hear it, Captain, the ship is sinking. Captain, seas are rough. We gas tank almost empty, no electricity. The oil pressure reading low. Shall we abandon ship, or shall we stay on it and perish slow?
We don't know. We don't know.
Captain, you tell me what to do. We don't know.
We don't know.
The St. Lucia, oh, she was a beauty, with feet years that few surpassed. And in her day, she sailed majestically. There were few in her class. Faithfully, she fulfilled her sailors' needs, but labor was overpowered by greed, and so they pilfered slow, causing scandal and roro. Now things look dull. She's at a lull. She could barely sit in a hull. Half we balling. Captain, the ship is sinking. Captain, the seas are rough. We gas tank almost empty, no electricity. The oil pressure reading low. Shall we abandon ship, or shall we sit on it and perish slow?
We don't know. We don't know.
Captain, you tell me what to do. I say no, I say no. Captain, you tell me what to do. The St. Lucia, in her day of sailing, she was a friend, a true friend to one and all. And in her day, she sailed majestically. No government doing bubble. And yes, well, she always did her best to help out those in distress. Now she don't have money. We have to beg Joffrey. Labor boys don't share, none of them care. We must vote them out, I declare. Captain, the ship is sinking. Captain, the seas are rough. We gas tank almost empty, no electricity. The oil pressure reading low. Shall we abandon ship, or shall we sit on it and perish slow?
We don't know. We don't know.
Captain, you tell me what to do.
We don't know. We don't know.
You tell me what to do. ship is sinking. Captain, seas are rough. We gas tank almost empty, no electricity. The oil pressure reading low. Shall we abandon ship or shall we stay on it and perish slow?
We don't know. We don't know.
Captain, you tell me what to do. We don't know.
We don't know.
Decent Lucia, oh she was a beauty. With features that few surpass.
Caribbean American News Media, your Tuesday night power hour. Live every Tuesday at 8:15 p.m. on Facebook, YouTube, and GVV TV channel 115. Join your host, Garfield Oliver, as he dives deep into the latest inclusion developments, regional affairs, and global issues that matter to you. From politics to the economy, community stories to international headlines. We cover it all with real talk and real insights. Stay informed, get the facts, be part of the conversation. Don't miss out. Set your reminders, share with your friends, and tune in. Caribbean American News Media, the news you report.
At the SLP's Conference of Delegates in Vieux-Fort, Prime Minister Philip J. Pierre made a desperate attempt to rewrite history.
You will remember that the United Workers' Party only gave COVID support to NIC contributors.
This claim is absolutely false. The truth? In July 2020, under the UWP administration, 5,000 St. Lucians who were non-contributors of NIC received $500 per month for 3 months to help them survive the pandemic. Prime Minister Pierre knows the facts, yet he chose to lie to the nation. Why? To mislead and divide. St. Lucia deserves a leader who values integrity, one who speaks the truth, not one who tries to twist it. Pierre, Pabo, we need real leadership, not deception.
They stream the tears and the cheers so clear. From the church to the pitch, they're always near. Tie the knot or score the goal, my friend. GVD TV's got you till the end. They stream the highs, they stream the lows, from wedding vows to final shows. Through life's twists and the path it bends, GVD's there, it never ends.
Welcome to the Caribbean American News Media Show, your premier destination for in-depth coverage, engaging discussions, and entertaining segments showcasing the rich tapestry of Caribbean American culture. Join us as we explore a wide range of topics, from current events and community spotlights to arts, music, cuisine, and more. Our show features exclusive interviews with influencers, artists, community leaders, and everyday heroes who are making a difference in the Caribbean American community. Stay informed and inspired with our thought-provoking segments that highlight the diversity, resilience, and creativity within our community. Tune into the Caribbean American News Media Show for a captivating blend of news, entertainment, and storytelling that celebrates the Caribbean American experience. Get ready to discover new perspectives, celebrate successes, and connect with the heartbeat of the Caribbean American community. Don't miss a moment of the action. Stay tuned to
You are viewing Caribbean American News Media on YouTube and on Facebook. You can also find us on 360 Radio. Your host for tonight is Garfield Oliver. Let's get to work.
Yes, sir. Greetings to all. Greetings to all on the platform. It's pleasant good evening to you and your family. Let's hoping that you are okay, that you are hearing me. Greetings again. It's Caribbean American News Media Platform. It is Tuesday, and I believe I'm not mistaken, of course. It is Tuesday, and it is time for Caribbean American News Media Broadcast. And I am so happy, friends, to be here with you. We plan to have a beautiful night. Let me see if I can get the mic a little closer. Of course, I made some adjustments to it, so I am not sure how I'm sounding, whether it's I did no tests, of course, just made some adjustments to it, and I am looking at my volume. It's looking a bit low, but we are still going to be on here on the platform. We will adjust as we go along to ensure that we are firing on all cylinder. How was your day, folks? How was your day? I had a tremendous day. I went to Brooklyn to put up a poster for the church, and then I did some documentation for the city. Then I had to review my assignment with the Department of Education, of course, for the upcoming school year starting next week. And then I had to go to the fish market to get some fish. Then I had to go to Walmart to get some other stuff. Then I had to come home, of course, and season up that fish in preparation for Thursday in the bush. And so it continues and continues. And so I did not do a lot of prep for the show tonight. So the show can go anywhere tonight. That's what I can say to you. But it depends on my rant, how far I take the rant. You know what I'm saying? Folks, it is good to have you here. That's all I'm saying. And I'm so happy. Thomas Moses, greetings to you, Bobby and Duncan and all my beautiful family here. I see Joseph over there on YouTube and just a lot of our lovely people are logging in. Please share the live and tag a friend. Of course, this is your number one news that you report, of course. So we report the news that's in the news already. We don't create the news. No. We don't create it. If we create it, then we can make some errors. So we report the news from you, the news that you, my friends, report. Maybe it's something going on in your community, a business, shipping issues, whatever it is, we're here for you. So don't be afraid to send us the information. Send us information, and we can always. Now, I'm not sure why my number is not on the screen. Of course, every night it's supposed to be up there. Yes, it is there now. So that's what I'm telling you. We did not prepare a lot for the show tonight, but we have something good in store for you. But you got to share the live and tag a friend. If you have not followed Caribbean American News on Facebook, please tap that follow and like button. You can also go to YouTube and press that subscription button, friends. Now on Facebook, you can subscribe to the platform. I believe it is about maybe $5 or something like that a month to subscribe. We do have subscribers over there. So continue with your subscriptions on the platform or your support to Caribbean American News and keeping it afloat on the air. We really appreciate you guys as we get closer into the elections. Of course, then it's going to be kind of busy. We are monitoring the elections in Guyana and also Jamaica and St. Vincent and the Grenadines, St. Lucia. We are having a serious feeling that there is some surprises that will pop out sometime this year. So we also monitoring those developments in St. Lucia. But again, greetings to everybody. May God's blessings be upon you and your family as we sit together at this University of Caribbean American News. This is the real university. It's a decent university where we are controlled. We are not out of control, all right? We do not operate like hacks actually on this platform. Yeah, you think that we operate like hacks, but no. We do not meet that definition. Again, you're viewing us via Facebook and our YouTube channel, and also via GVD TV channel 115. That is our YouTube channel. Pleasant good night to all our supporters. It was good to meet many of you on Saturday night over there with Ben. We'll get into that. We have some clips. We have, I recorded some of, it looks like, I think the majority of the presentation was recorded by me, of course. And so we're going to be talking about the Ben event, the Ben effect, and we have some caucus business to address tonight. And there's a major event on the 30th that we are going to be talking about for those of you who are in the New York area. By the way, I want to welcome Kakal to the United States. He's getting ready for a massive appearance in Brooklyn on Saturday. That is the 30th on Saturday. A massive attack there in Denver. Kakal live in performance. That's what we later on we're going to look into. But until then, share the live, tag a friend, and away we go. Yes, my friends. So, where should I start my rant? Yes, I know exactly where I'm going to start my rant. Now, earlier today, I did a live broadcast as I was entering into, I almost said Denver. I was entering into Brooklyn, New York. As you know, I do not live in Brooklyn, so I was entering into Brooklyn to do some transactions. And normally when I have those long distance, I would do the live because this week I did not give you, well, this week, and yes, I did give a live on Saturday night, but I did not do one on Sunday or Monday. So I said, you know what, let me just go on live to talk to my my lovelies. You know, and there were some things that I had weighed on my mind because I am always in thought, you know, how we can develop our people, how we can improve, how we can put a dent in poverty in our nation, not only St. Lucia, but we have poverty. We have a state of famine that is declared in some parts of the world. We have people who are going through a very difficult time. It's hard for them to survive. And that is real. Poverty is real. And I did do some documentation on some research and studies that I did, even while I was at Andrews University, of course, doing my studies. And you're looking at social issues. You're looking at some of the situation there with our people. And what I discover in my studies is that there is much that we can do in order to help with the poverty. And I know the cause and effect. I know the challenge that family faces. I know that some decisions that family make, some of them are not too good. Some of them are very dangerous. They put the mother at risk. And that's why I keep talking about careless fathers in our society. Fathers that have no manners, no self-control. They are just, and the Bible speaks of these fathers as infidel, as one who is destructive to the society. You make a child, you take care of that child, because the burden goes to the grandmother and the mother. And that's my point. Those are my points today. And I thought that I would touch on it. And I also, I was triggered off by Ben. I wasn't expecting Ben to be so fiery and so on point in his presentation. He went right down my alley, and it excites me when you talk about poverty and the poor, how to lift the poor out of that class and bring them into the middle class. Of course, how to help these families with food security. And I also spoke of dealing with poverty and the effect of dealing with the poverty, challenging poverty, taking it on head on, how it will impact crime, how it will help to control the crime and the violence that we see in our community, the frustration, of course. Most of these situations we can attack from the home, from a community point of view also. So those are my points based on studies. These were not just idle talks. Now, I know there are a whole lot of people out there who are petty, childish, attention seekers, and so they will take things and they will turn it. They will say what you're not saying. They will not understand from your perspective, and so they go crazy like they're on something high, And I wish that they can come down from their highness and understand that poverty is real. There are real families out there that are being affected, and we must speak about it. A matter of fact, there are families who are listening to me tonight who understand what I'm saying. Many of these families had to make choices that they are not happy with today. That's the reality. Most of the times in dealing with the challenges in our communities, we tend to move away. We try to hide the real issues and cover it up. I don't care what country it is. It could be St. Lucia, St. Vincent, Grenada, Dominica. If there is poverty, there is poverty. And we should never try to make a country look good. We should never overshadow poverty because you want your country to look a certain way. No. We got to confront it. We got to deal with it, because it is real families that we're talking about. And a lot of fathers who do not contribute to their children's development are responsible for a lot of the ills in our society. You make a child, your responsibility is to take care of that child. That's your responsibility, to ensure that that child can eat, drink, sleep, and go to school. If you cannot afford those things, you might as well keep yourself to yourself. It is inhumane. It is not nice to bring kids into the world and you abandon them, expecting the mother and grandmother to go out there and sweat blood, when you can make it easier by taking care of your children. It is nasty, men, when you do not take care of your children. You contribute to what we have in our society. The frustration, whether it's of the mother or from the child, this is serious. There are case studies to prove what I'm saying. This is not careless talking. Some of you are very careless in your talk. You're looking for attention. And you're looking for attention while there are families who are looking for food, who are looking for support. Shame on individuals who do such. And I keep saying to you, friends, there is a God who does not slumber or sleep. He does not slumber and he does not sleep. This is as real as it is, especially when it comes to the plight of the poor and the needy. Christ spoke himself to the church and he said to them, take care of these among you, the poor. A matter of fact, the farmers, there was a system in place in the Jewish times where the owners of the fields, when they harvest, they were to leave food in the fields for the less fortunate. So somebody who don't have food could have walked by and pick up some supplies. That's how it was. So to put your head in the sand and act a fool, then you are not contributing anything to the society. And it is real, and I make no apologies to anyone. So, the whole poverty issue, I've been at poverty for a very long time. For more than 20-something years, I have been on the field, dealing with poverty. So this is not no hearsay, them say. This is real stuff. So what happens with poverty most of the times? Especially if there's not a father and there's a child and the mother got to survive. Most of the times, the mothers of these kids are being taken advantage of by men. The man know that the lady is looking for survival. She wants to take care of her child. The man comes, give her a little $20, and he keeps playing. He uses her body, sometimes giving her other kids that she's not ready for. Sometimes giving her AIDS and other vaginal infection. But he goes on to other women, other victims. And there are those women who actually would go into that type of prostitution, I call it. And it is real. Yes, women sometimes give up their bodies to men only because they want to survive. Many of these women, not because they want to do it. It is a matter of survival sometimes. And all I am saying is that if we can help a woman, a family, out of poverty, then we're going to help her to keep her dignity and to maintain herself and her family. These are conversations that are real. I've had those testimonies and those I have listened to people with those burdens. I end up with the man because I had nothing, and then the man helped me. He built a house, and the man used to bring bananas and bring food in the house, and I ended up, being with him, not because I love him, but because of the situation at the time. You hear it over and over again. And some of these men are contributors to this nastiness. Some of them are. The reality is, some of them are. So there's no need for us to bend ourselves out of shape. This is real. When a grandmother got to leave retirement to take care of a child because the father left, that is real, friends. And this is the conversation that we must have as a society. We have too many broken homes because of macho men. That's a fact. It's all over the world, friends. Our sisters are placed in a position where they got to sometimes yield their bodies to men that they do not like or love. It's all about transactional sex. I need to survive. My child needs to go to school. I need to get the food. I need to get the supplies. And some of these women get abused. Men box them in the face, kick them, insult them, but they stay there because they, where am I going to go? Comment can I manger? Comment can I dormir si nous quitter, messieurs? A lot of women, this is the reality. This is the discussion. This is the real discussion. So please, pull up your socks, men. And those of you who are still not learning, you're still not learning. You're still talking foolishness. You have not learned that you have damaged the society. You have damaged a woman. You have damaged a child. You have damaged a family. In true humility, in penitence, we should be asking ourselves, how can I do better? How can I fix it? Because it's not too late, friends, for us to make amends. Well, not us. I'm not in that nastiness. It's not too late. So poverty is real. Now, Benson Emile made a statement last night, and Denry, I want you to pay attention to this. He spoke about Denry as one of the poorer communities. That is real. That is real. You can go to the UNOPS study to get that. That is not a sport. This is not a game. So let me read you something here, right? So in 2016, Denry District. Now, when you talk about Denry District, you're talking about the Valley also. You're talking about Olio, Belmont, Lime, Lacaille, Olio, Grand Ravine. There's another one, Denry Riviere, Belmont. There's a number of other small communities between those areas that I mentioned. Tamazo. In those areas, there's a study that was done, and I believe the Prime Minister is going to do another one this year based on what some ads that I saw. These studies are important. So when the people come to your home, don't say it's labor and you don't want to give them information. This is really, it helps us to understand what is really happening in your home, in the community, when it comes to your survival, when it comes to the poverty level. What resources, what can we do to at least bring some control to the poverty level in these communities? This is real. But there is this guy who's making a pappy show of this serious thing, arguing stuff that he don't even know. engaging in discussions that is not speaking from an informed position. Dangerous to this discussion. If you want to contribute to in helping to alleviate poverty in the communities, we can have an honest, genuine discussion on it. But to just go on with this nonsense, games, attention seeking, it does not help poor families. It does not. It goes beyond political lines. So here is this. So the study was done in 2016. I'm hoping that there was some improvement during 2016 to where we are now. Because, you know, kids got out, some kids graduate, they're out of school, they got work, so they're helping now to take their families out of poverty. Those things are real. Huh? So listen. So in 2016, and I wrote it down, I didn't put it on the screen, the Dennery district had the highest poverty head count note in the country. That's in 2016. So Benson Emile, in his presentation in Dennery, he is speaking from an informed position. He's not coming there as a dunce, just keeping noise. Benson is not coming there talking about women underwear and their face and all the nastiness and their shape, body shaming women. That's not what Benson was about. So when Benson said that Dennery is one of the poorest communities, right there triggered off something in my head, and I said, this is real. This man is informed, he understands the community, and he understands beyond the community, because he is now talking about his district, the Dennery district. Bear with me, we have a crash on Facebook. Let's take a break. Let's take a break and we'll be right back. We have a crash on the main system. I believe that is through Facebook. So we're going to take a break and we'll be right back.
They stream the tears and the cheers so clear. From the church to the pitch, they're always near. Tie the knot or score the goal, my friend. GVD TV's got you till the end. They stream the highs, they stream the lows, from wedding vows to final shows, through life's twists and the path it bends. GVD's there, it never ends.
All right, so we do have a crash on our Facebook channel, folks. We're going to try to rectify that crash. We're going to try to reduce on the quality over there on Facebook. We're hoping that we can do that so that we can recover quickly. All right, just bear with us as we decrease on the power that we're sending over to Facebook. Okay, let's just see there. Hold a while, folks. All right, so the correction is not done as yet on Facebook. We're waiting for a recovery. We are still flat on Facebook. Something went terribly wrong there. We have crashed on Facebook. So I'm inviting those of you on YouTube to continue, keep that flow. And then we're hoping that we can recover from our fatal, I call it a fatal crash there on our Facebook page. All right? Fatal crash. Just bear with us. Bear with us, folks. Okay, it looked like the crash we have not recovered. We have lost that feed over there on Facebook. There's actually no action over there. So please stay with us. We're going to reset. YouTube will be okay, but we are going to reset the Facebook crash. All right, so the Facebook crash, we are going to correct that right now. Folks, you're viewing us through GVD TV, channel 115, and our YouTube channel. At this time, we're experiencing some technical challenges on our Facebook feed. We're going to see if we can correct it right now. Now, we're going to take a big break, and we're going to be right back. The ad is going to be playing more than once, so I want you to bear with us.
American News Media, your Tuesday night power hour. Live every Tuesday at 8:15 p.m. on Facebook, YouTube, and GVV TV, channel 115. Join your host, Garfield Oliver, as he dives deep into the latest inclusion developments, regional affairs, and global issues that matter to you. From politics to the economy, community stories to international headlines, we cover it all with real talk and real insights. Stay informed, get the facts, be part of the conversation. Don't miss out. Set your reminders, share with your friends, and tune in. Caribbean American News Media, the news you report. Caribbean American News Media, your Tuesday night power hour. Live every Tuesday at 8:15 p.m. on Facebook, YouTube, and GVV TV, channel 115. Join your host, Garfield Oliver, as he dives deep into the latest inclusion developments, regional affairs, and global issues that matter to you. From politics to the economy, community stories to international headlines, we cover it all with real talk and real insights. Stay informed, get the facts, be part of the conversation. Don't miss out. Set your reminders, share with your friends, and tune in. Caribbean American News Media, the news you report. Caribbean American News Media, your Tuesday night power hour. Live every Tuesday at 8:15 p.m. on Facebook, YouTube, and GVV TV, channel 115. Join your host, Garfield Oliver, as he dives deep into the latest inclusion developments, regional affairs, and global issues that matter to you. From politics to the economy, community stories to international headlines, we cover it all with real talk and real insights. Stay informed, get the facts, be part of the conversation. Don't miss out. Set your reminders, share with your friends, and tune in. Caribbean American News Media, the news you report. Caribbean American News Media, your Tuesday night power hour. Live every Tuesday at 8:15 p.m. on Facebook, YouTube, and GVV TV, channel 115. Join your host, Garfield Oliver, as he dives deep into the latest inclusion developments, regional affairs, and global issues that matter to you.
All right, folks, so we are still waiting for our Facebook page to be back up and running. It is connecting. Of course, I cannot identify the issue here, but we had a fatal crash, folks. Of those of you who are on our YouTube channel, you are still up. YouTube is firing clear, but the issue now is with our Facebook feed. So bear with us, folks. Bear with us. We will be up and running in a minute. All right. So we're going to take another break in preparation for a comeback. All right, folks.
At the SLP's Conference of Delegates in Vieux-Fort, Prime Minister Philip J. Pierre made a desperate attempt to rewrite history.
You will remember that the United Workers' Party only gives COVID support to NIC contributors.
This claim is absolutely false. The truth? In July 2020, under the UWP administration, 5,000 St. Lucians who were non-contributors of NIC received $500 per month for 3 months to help them survive the pandemic. Prime Minister Pierre knows the facts, yet he chose to lie to the nation. Why? To mislead and divide. St. Lucia deserves a leader who values integrity, one who speaks the truth, not one who tries to twist it. Pierre, pardon. We need real leadership, not deception. At the SLP's Conference of Delegates in Vieux-Fort, Prime Minister Philip J. Pierre made a desperate attempt to rewrite history.
You will remember that the United Workers' Party only gave COVID support to NIC contributors.
This claim is absolutely false. The truth? In July 2020, under the UWP administration, 5,000 St. Lucians who were non-contributors of NIC received $500 per month for 3 months to help them survive the pandemic. Prime Minister Pierre knows the facts, yet he chose to lie to the nation. Why? To mislead.
All right, folks, so we are back on our YouTube channel. We had to decrease on the power over there that we were sending to our Facebook feed, and so we are back now. It is confirmed that we are back on the Facebook channel. Back. So our folks will be coming back in shortly. All right. Okay, so let's continue with the program as we share the live and we tag our friends, letting them know that we are back. We are back with part 2 of our segment for tonight. All right. So we are live on Facebook. Please share the live and tag a friend. We want to apologize for that break in transmission, not our fault. And we can continue to investigate to see what really went wrong. So I was saying, friends, so Benson Emile did indicate that Dennery was one of the poorer communities in St. Lucia. And if you fact check him, he is right. Like I said, in 2016, a study was done in the district, Dennery district. And there was an increase from 2006 to 2016. And what you had was let me just look at it here. You had a 45% increase. You had a 45% increase from 2006 on the poverty level in the Dennery community. So when I hear some people I would use the word uselessly keeping noise. And it seems to be that it is all about attention. It's all about, I am here, put the camera on me. That type of thing, and not really the substantial discussion that we need to be having as surrogates. We should be speaking about this. This is real family we're speaking about, St. Lucians. We are talking about real families. It is not a game. It is not a game. It is not a political game when families cannot afford a reasonable meal, a nutritious meal. And it leads to crime. It leads to sexual abuse. It leads to prostitution. It leads to a whole set of stuff. This is not a game. It is not. A matter of fact, some of you have kids with women because of their situation at the time. Because if they were not in a state of poverty, some of them, they would have not even looked at some of you. And that's true. That's true. Somebody got to speak the truth. Somebody got to say the unpopular things that needed to be said. And I'm saying it. And I make no excuse to anyone for saying it. It's real. So, I put this information through the lie detector test, and it says that Benson Emile spoke the truth. Yes, he did. So, let's go to some of the pictures of last evening's event with Benson Emile. These are some of the photos. Good night, folks. Yes, we did lose a feed earlier, but we are back. So this is one of the pictures there in New York. Shed a live, tag a friend, folks. Let them know that we're on. As a matter of fact, I met some folks that I did not see, I've not seen in a long time, like this young lady. These are some of the pictures, the shots. All right, I lost my picture there. These are some of the shots, folks, from last evening with Benson. Now, we will dissect the whole Benson Emile situation, but let's play something out of, let's play some tapes from Benson. And this is raw tape. This is what I recorded this outside of the regular Facebook Lives. This was done, in a certain way. Let's do this.
That's what I'm saying. My conversation to the diaspora here is for us to be able to recognize that we have a role to play and we have to participate, in those interventions that are being put forward. So when you look at education, that is one aspect. When you look at all the areas of skills development, we have to ensure that our job market is well serviced. Yeah? We cannot be in a system where everybody is focusing on one aspect or one subject area. We have to be well-rounded. We have to have children focus on the sciences. We have to have those focus as well on those technical areas. So that when you need a carpenter, he's well-trained because he has gone through the school system. When you need a plumber, he's well-trained and he has gone through the school system. And that is the only way that those persons can utilize the skill to assist in developing our community. That's the only way we can do it. If it is not done in that way, we will continue to remain in the low-income bracket. We will continue to remain there. And if
now that is part of the clip there from Mr. Benson Emile, the UWP candidate for Dennery South. And I will tell you, going into the event, I honestly was not expecting Benson to be so fiery, so on point, and just flowing with in his thoughts there on Saturday night. Benson did what he had to do at that event. I heard a surrogate saying he did not accomplish what he came to do. How do you know what he came to do? You're not a UWP1. You're an SLP. Yeah? You're not on the planning committee. You're not in his head. But you said he failed to accomplish what he came to accomplish. How did you accomplish what you just said there? How did you accomplish that? How did you come to that conclusion? Benson did exactly what he had to do. One, introduce himself to the Dennery South diaspora in Brooklyn. Yeah? Share his plans, his vision for the community. He did. He also invited the diaspora to join in formulating the vision for the transformation of Dennery South. So how did he not accomplish what he came to do? It was well attended, one. The people were engaged. I saw what was happening. I was there with Benson Emile. I was proud to have endorsed him on Saturday night. Very proud. Yes? Yes, Dr. Fletcher, the live, we had a deadly crash on the system and could not have recovered in time, so we had to restart part 2 of this broadcast tonight. We do apologize, folks, for the inconvenience to our viewers. Some viewers went over to Facebook, to YouTube. Some went over to their television. And most of you are coming back on to the site. So please share the live, Tiger Friend. So, yeah, so when I heard the SLP surrogate say that he did not set out what he came to do, that is wrong. That's a lie from the pits of hell. Because he spoke about the overall development. He spoke about Lakai Limere. He spoke about Dennery proper. He spoke about developing the young people. He spoke about bringing resources into Dennery. Bringing back businesses to Dennery. Back in the days, we had Singer, I believe, on the highway who came to Dennery. And I believe Singer was in the village too, or Courts. Was it Courts? Yes, Courts. So he's talking about bringing back, intentionally putting things in place so that we can lift Dennery South. And it can only be done at this time under the leadership of Benson Emile. That's not a joke. He's calm, he's collective. He understands the young people. He understands the older ones. He's a community man. He has the passion. He has the drive. He's not tired. He has what it takes. So Benson Emile outperformed on Saturday night. Because those who came to catch him in some story did not get that. Stayed on point. He did not speak about how women look and how they shape and all those stories. No, he stayed the course. And he accomplished exactly what he had to accomplish. So for me, as one of the organizers, it was a successful event. It was. He engaged the community there in Brooklyn. It was all about the Brooklyn community. And we wanted to be all about the Brooklyn community. And we wanted him to be comfortable in communicating with the Brooklyn community. There was no drama. Except for the distraction, of course, of Papa Smurf. But outside of that, there was no distraction. And we had no problem in Papa Smurf coming there. Somebody texted me, said Papa Smurf said that we plotted to attack him and all this garbage. We do not have time for this. I'm a Christian. I'm a man of God. I have no time for these nastiness. Those nastiness are in your head only, sir. We had no time for that. Benson is very clear in his agenda. He was very clear. You think myself and Gregory and Brian had time to sit down and plan if Papa Smurf come in his blue suit, and you know, and we will do this and we will do that. You are no match for us, Papa Smurf. No match at all. It was all about Benson, not you. It was all about Benson and his vision and his plans for Denry South. It was not about the SLP either. Huh? So you are so important, Mr. Smurf, that we plan for you to attack and someone. What kind of childish garbage is this? Are you for real? Is this for real? Are we real here? In my mind, I knew Papa Smurf was coming. I knew Papa Smurf himself said, you know, Benson's my friend, everything else. So I said, okay, Papa Smurf is going to show up. I'm going to watch the excitement of Papa Smurf. Because I know Papa Smurf is an excitement, all about excitement and, you know, taking the thunder of the night. Don't make this about you. It is about Benson Emile, a decent man, the man for Denry South, the man that will usher in an era in that community where we'll start seeing things. We'll start planting foundations for the future and not the now. We will stop doing things for an election cycle and we'll start doing things for the future development of the country, of the community. Yes. And by the way, I have to ask someone to donate a wheelbarrow or one of those mixer machines for the Denry Cemetery. When I went down, I saw how they were mixing cement with the shovels. And I said to myself, this is 2000 and, I mean, we're in the 20th century and we are still mixing cement with a shovel? Can we not just get a mixer so that we can throw the mixture in that machine so that the family can spend more time at a reception with their loved ones than to spend all that time with the shoveling and dirtying your pants and your shoes? And I did recommend to one of the guys to get me, but I did not have time to stay, to get me a mixer for the cemetery. So I am asking somebody to get me a gas cement mixer for the Denry Cemetery. The people do not have to do all that hard labor. Please, friends. But those are small things, of course. One thing I want to thank Prosper for is the Denry Community Center, because I kept a lot of noise about it when I went there. One, the building was falling apart. The roof had dropped in. It was abandoned. And I'm like, why? Most of our government buildings in Denry are abandoned. Why? And then we're renting from people. Why? Put a roof on it. He did. And we should recognize that. Denry people now can get back their community center. The library was upstairs, and downstairs you can do your activities. You don't have to go rent private space. Now you have a community center for the community. That's a good thing. We have where the courthouse was. All that, those are buildings that we should not allow to fall down. So there's a whole lot that needs to be done. So we're not into all this excitement and nastiness. Garfield say that he was waiting and all that kind of petty stuff. Can we not grow up in our discussions? Do we not see the urgency, friends, of the developments that are necessary in the nation? Do we have to always make it about us? Huh? Do we have to make it all about us? This is not the 1950s or 60s. This is a different era of politics, friends. We are very behind on developments. Whether it's the airport, infrastructure in the country, we are way behind. There's traffic jam all over the city. We are way behind on what needs to be done, friends. So this is no time for no Papa Smurf series. This is no Lifetime TV. This is no Bold and Beautiful. Let's grow up in our discussions, friends. Let's grow up. I'm sick of it, folks. Sick of it. Benson spoke about poverty. Papa Smurf. Oh, yeah, Benson, and he said my community. How is it your community? How is it your community and you don't know the poverty level? How is it? All in an attempt to make the man look stupid, look like he don't know what he's saying. He's very much on. You'll be surprised to see the poverty level in other communities, such as View Fort. And even in Castries, there, believe it or not, the conditions that people are living in. Even in the city, people are still using pit toilets. People are still living in galvanized houses. Don't you understand what we refer to when we speak of a housing deficit? Do you understand that? Do you understand what a housing deficit is? Do you understand what food insecurity is? So Benson is right on the money. He's right on the money, Mr. Smurf. Right on the money. I'm going to take this call. We have promotions to do in the next 20 minutes, but I'm going to take this call. Call you on the air, Caribbean American News Media Platform.
Hey, Brother Garfield, I'm very sorry to call you at this early notice.
No. You're welcome anytime.
Yes, sir. I just want to say, Garfield, I want to start off by saying this. I want to represent the youth on what I'm trying to tell you there, because I'm a part of it. I'm a youth as well.
Yep.
Garfield, do you know St. Lucia do not have any natural resources, right?
I know that.
And the only resource is the human resource, right?
Yep.
And the human resource, and okay, since you know what is the human resource, do you know what is the reason of a birth certificate? I will tell you. One of the reasons for a birth certificate is to tell you that you are a St. Lucian or you're born there. But the other reason, it is a stock. It is a share. And you have a number on your birth certificate, and that birth certificate is traded on the stock market. Why do you think governments can get loans? And who is the guarantee for those loans when government get loans? on the behalf, like, for example, Philip JP went to the Saudi Arabia and say he's going to get $265 million to finish the hospital. How did he get the guarantee of the loan? It is the people, right, that is paying the tax. You understand? So in other words, the workforce is the collateral to those loans. Now, my point is, Brother Garfield, is that since we are a stock or a commodity, the human resource is a commodity because that's the only resource the country has. And we have a mass extinction of the solution youth. We have a lot of youth at borderline, a lot of youth seeking asylum, a lot of people going overseas and leave. So, in other words, we have a mass exodus in solution because we have a civil war going on. But those that remain like myself, the youth that remain like myself, that are contributing to paying the taxes, to paying all government workers, is the youth that generating the economy. And I'm seeing the Solution Labour Party and some CIP people selling our passports for $200,000 or $300,000. But we, the youth, have already contributed, let's say working for a year, 2 years, have already contributed over $300,000 to the economy because the economy worth about $1 billion or $2 billion. Now, that $1 billion is a guarantee of the workforce.
Yeah, it is.
So in other words, what I'm trying to say, Brother Garfield, since the solution man or the solution youth, whether it's boy or girl, is in such a high demand because we have a mass extinction of our population when it comes to gun violence, sickness, AIDS, all those different things. We're talking a lot about the gun violence because that is what's on the thing, but there are a lot of people suffering from AIDS, dying from different chronic diseases every day. You understand?
Yes.
So my point is, how can somebody from Saudi Arabia, whatever country, buy a passport, and the passport, when they buy the passport for $200,000, it's guaranteeing them to get land, house, or any business that come in and invest in our country? They're getting so many concessions. When will the solution worker get the concessions? And I'm not just talking about raising minimum wage and those different things. When you're born in a family, that left no inheritance for you. You're born in Marshall, you're born in Central Coast, you never had no inheritance, you never had nothing going for you. And you find yourself in a situation where rent is $1,800 a month, you're barely making any money. So in other words, what I'm trying to tell you, Brother Garfield, it is high time that we peg the solution worker to our land. Any capital project that's supposed to be coming in our country right now at this point, we should have shares in that. The youth should have shares in that. The government should guarantee us at least $50,000 to $60,000 in grants or $50,000 in land so that we can take loans, we can build houses, we can fend for ourselves. Because, one of the most thing that is pressing to the youth at this point, Brother Garfield, is security. We are leaving school, we are working, we have our girlfriends, we still at our mother's homes, we cannot do what we want, we cannot go where we want because the country is in a warfare. So my thing is, Brother Garfield, as the commodity of the human resources getting scarce, what is the government is really doing? And they're telling us to make children. How could you make children and you're going back to a broken home? One thing I can say, Brother Garfield, when a man is angry or hungry, he can never think straight. No matter what you tell him, when a man is hungry, he can never think straight. Like the thing of a hungry man is an angry man.
That's right.
And when a man is hungry, Brother Garfield, that is why you see in the state of the situation in St. Lucia. You don't need to go to Africa to see poverty. Go to Marshall, go to any constituency in Castle Central, even Micoud South. You're seeing people living in atmos poverty. In other words, Brother Garfield, we have a housing crisis. We have many crises. But the major crisis we have is that our population is shrinking. The value of St. Lucia is shrinking, and we're selling our passports to foreigners. And when we sell those passports to foreigners, 3 generations from now, what do you think? What do you expect to happen? Those people just let the Syrians come and populate the country. Now the Syrians own a big share of our economy. Who has the biggest mall in St. Lucia?
What you're going to have in St. Lucia, as you said at some point, caller, is what you see in Jamaica and Guyana, a whole set of Chinese Jamaicans, Chinese Guyanese, and even in Trinidad too. That's exactly where this is going, of course. So you have a decline in population growth, right? You have high levels of poverty. You have high levels of sales of citizenship to foreign nationals. There's now the idea of mandating that these people have some type of residency for a certain amount of time. You know what that means?
And can vote.
Do you know what that means? That these people have access to land.
Exactly.
They have access to the resources that even those on the ground do not have real access to as yet.
But that is the harsh reality I'm putting out to you, Brother Garfield. That's what I'm telling you. By the time that CIP program finish, they will not have no land for St. Lucians to buy land for themselves. And land is a normal plot of land is $14 per square foot. Where average St. Lucian like me going to get, with no inheritance from my parents, going to get $14 a square foot to buy a house, to buy a land, or even much less to pay a bank for $3,000 for 28 years. You understand? So the point is what I'm trying to tell you, Brother Garfield. All of you people who right now are talking, whether it's Alan Chasney, all the elders, you're on your way to retirement, you're living in diaspora. I don't think your children will even come, your children will visit St. Lucia, but not to come to live. That's what I'm trying to tell you. We the ones that remain in the country as soldiers are going to that defend our country, that going to fight for our country.
I respect that, champion. I respect that.
Because there are thousands of youth that are living in the country right now, as we speak, and before, for better jobs and asylum because of family members got shot to gun violence and all those different things. People who live in all different reasons. We are here.
They feel
we are the
safer
survivors.
in a country where crime is higher than their country. They feel much safer in other countries.
Well, because there's the laws, there's better opportunities. That's what I'm telling you right now.
Some of these kids, these people feel that the government is constantly at their throats, whether it's insults or threats, and so they prefer to take a chance in another country.
And I agree with them, because I lived in another country before I came back to my country, because I was in Canada, but I didn't get my papers, so it's basically I had to go back to my country. Yeah. Then I said to myself, you know what? I'll make my country great, just like Canada is great. So I don't have to run from no immigration and be on on all those nitty-gritty things. I rather survive in my country, because Canada had its history, but it was great men, the founders of Canada that made Canada what it is. That's why some of them have the racism and all those different things.
Not to interrupt you, but that is exactly what Mr. Chasney was saying a couple of years ago, that he will make St. Lucia so great again that people will have no need to go look for a visa. You know?
That's why I'm with Chasney, my brother. That's why I'm here. That's why I'm
here. You
want
to stay in your country because there's work, there's development, there is resources, there is hospitals. You know, you don't have to leave your beautiful country, you know, where you can enjoy the beach and you can enjoy, you know, the environment.
Exactly. Everything. And you know what we're trying to usher in right now. Since we are, for example, a sketch resource, which is the human resource, because the men are dying at the Masters. We have a many at border there as well. We're trying to usher in a new, the new middle class, like myself. You know, the new wealthy people that will usher in wealth in the country through AI and development. That's why I always call on behalf of our country for us to stop the CIP program, for us to move in a phase of leverage by investment. There's the blue economy. Trinidad and Guyana and the Americans are finding massive oil and gas wells in Guyana. Guyana is already opening up to be the fastest green economy. We can capitalize on that because we're in the middle of the world of the Caribbean, 1,000 kilometers of. So in other words, we can expand on our ports, deep ports, smart ports, oil and gas storage. We start refining oil and gas so we can bring down the prices of oil in our country so we can be more competitive.
We got to start producing stuff. We got to start making stuff.
That's it.
We got to start making stuff, brother. So let me tell you. So you would agree with me based on what you're saying as a young man, that we need to start moving more people from the poorer class to the middle class to the upper class.
We need to push right now. I want to, because we need to start creating new wealth in our country, not like to remain a consumist country. We need to start creating new millionaires and even possibly billionaires, because Jamaica already have billionaires, Barbados already have billionaires, Ghana have billionaires. So we now, as the biggest economy of the OECS, we can produce it, but we need direction. And I told people, tourism can only cover a certain section of the economy or society. It cannot cover everything. You understand? That is why they have the blue economy. Economists and people that listening know what is the blue economy and know what is smart farming and also to produce more beef and cattle. That's what I want to go into more into the cattle.
That's right.
I'm industry,
that's
but I'm not good into that right now. But the thing I'm saying is that I believe at this point, so I'm speaking on behalf of every youth, that we want security. Because in Martinique, I will tell you something. In Martinique, Guadeloupe, those places, I know people might say they are for the French, but I visit there. And if you go to places like Maui and those places, that's in the south, and you see those big buildings, and you say, but that's hotels by the beach, that's apartment buildings. That's where residents people live. And there's mothers and people that for example, maybe a mother's unemployed, the father's working. The government is probably a 3-bedroom apartment with AC, everything, kitchen, everything, for €150 a month. So in other words, it is no problem for us now to start doing, not because we do not have much land. You see all those housing schemes, those both governments, they're doing. We do not have land for those housing schemes. We have to build going up, apartment blocks, build.
In your country, most of the government ministers and the upper class are the ones who are sucking up the land banks in the country. They're the ones sucking up all the lands, and they're pushing up the price, of course. And it's at a place where the middle class sometimes can't even reach. There's
no middle class anymore, brother. That's why I'm telling you, we're trying to create a new middle class.
That has been demolished, destroyed. You're
very right. Now the problem is, we now have to this when we win this election, it is a new solution we have to build. We have to build that country from scratch. That's why I tell you the youth have to go into a program from 10. The national youth program have to be from age of 10 years all the way to 25. And in between, another time I'll call and talk about it. It is a new solution we have to build. We have to redirect our economy where we can have leverage on the world stage. And it's not hard by getting leverage on the world stage. It's just playing the right cards at the right time with the right people, then we'll get the right results. You understand?
You need transformative leadership, man. You need leadership that has the vision, the energy, the drive, to want to do big things right now, because this is the time to do big things. We have lost a lot of years, by the way, but this is the opportunity, and we're missing the opportunity to build bigger, to build better, to create things.
Exactly.
We are dependent we are dependent still on sales of our past, but that is not sustainable. That is seriously not sustainable. Agriculture can be sustainable. Exporting.
Port hubbing, being the big storage for natural gas and the gas station of the Caribbean. Yeah. So if we will pose ourselves to be the middleman in between Guyana and Florida and Panama Canal to West Africa and Europe, and we're building shipyards, big shipyards because Alan Shastner already put the ports, castries for housing mega ships. So if we was getting 100,000 people per year, Alan Shastner by expanding point surfing, 1 million people are entering right now. When those 1 million people enter, so the head tax.
Chief, I think we made a big mistake in leasing the ports to GPH. I believe St. Lucians could have done that.
But that is what GPH saw. GPH saw that the expansion of the port that Alan Shastner did with the same NIC loan that Philip JP and them spoke about. It is because of the expansion of the port Alan Shastner did. Millions of passing, mega boats, and then you remember we had the home port in as well. So in other words, the boat was docking in St. Lucia, and people from all over the world had to came in to fly to pick up the boat here. Now people have to go to Martinique to get a boat to go and do cruise.
They could have had that home ported in Vieux-Fort, of course.
We had the home ported in Castries already Castries because we had already. Alan Shastner had home ported in Castries when we expanded the port to 1 million to house the mega ships. Before we wasn't housing mega ships, Alan Shastner expanded the thing, take a loan from NIC. The Labour Party talk about so harshly. Alan Shastner expanded the ports.
And then Point Serpent.
Point Serpent. We had home porting at Point Serpent. I don't know if it was Carnival Cruising or whatever, but everybody around the world that wanted to take that particular boat had to come to St. Lucia. So that would have been more people coming in the country per head tax. So when we expanded the ports, Island Shasta had the home port in that was up and running already. That is what GPH saw, and GPH went into a deal with those losers that do not know how to negotiate, that money hungry, that only care about their friends, family, and foreigners. They sold out the ports.
So, Colin,
because the port became diamond.
Yeah, what you're saying to me here, and I'm listening to you, and as a young person, you're saying to me that the United Workers' Party, under the leadership of Alan Chastney, had a very workable vision for the transformation of the country.
Yes, and the reason why I follow it so vividly, because he said we had to expand on our infrastructure to accommodate the people that we were seeking. So that is why we had the expansion of the hospital along in Beaufort that could have the helipad. So because most accidents and shootings of the people that are dying is because they're bleeding to death.
Yeah.
Because the ambulance are taking too long. Mm-hmm. Now, if we had a helicopter, anywhere in the island, the helicopter would take less than 5 minutes, whether it's in Beaufort, living or whatever. And on the helicopter, they already have an ambulance on the helicopter to stabilize you.
So
it was
a major trauma. Could have had a major trauma unit over there.
Yeah, people from the OHS would have started coming to St. Lucia for like much less like going to Martinique, because they pay in euros in Martinique. So most islands across Latin America as well, they would come because it's and whatnot.
Sorry, did not this SLP administration complain about the airport being too big and too expensive, and the hospital being too big, too expensive?
I'm happy you brought up the airport. Now, I wanted to tell you something. I called meet the minister a few weeks ago, and I asked the Prime Minister, Mr. Prime Minister, why did you stop the airport project? He told me for this big capital project, he wanted it to go to a list, a bidding process. A bidding process, the project. He stopped it from the time. Bidding, yes, a bidding process. Because he said that the project, it was the biggest capital project that they were undertaking. He wanted it to go through the legal channel of a bidding process. But I said, but Prime Minister, there's a head tax. You didn't stop when you stopped the project. He said, yes, the head tax is still there. So I asked him, but you stopped the project, but you didn't stop the head tax. Where's that money going? He didn't answer. And then he go about saying, but I tell him, but the project already had the head tax, and that head tax would have covered the loan. Mm-hmm. And the Taiwanese was already funding the loan through all the legal systems. So they themselves would have done the bidding process. In other words, that the whole project was already secure, up and running. When Philip J. stopped that project, it signaled to the Taiwanese that Philip J. do not trust them. Philip J. do not have confidence in them. And because I told the Prime Minister, Mr. Prime Minister, the Taiwanese has been our good friend for many years. Every government, I watched Richard Frederick. The last meeting you ever saw of the ambassador was with Richard Frederick when he was working in Castro Central. After that, you never saw the ambassador again. Right or wrong, my brother?
So he's saying that he stopped the airport because he wants a bidding done. It's the biggest capital project. So why did he? So my question is, 4 years you did all that, up to now nothing. But I heard, I'm not sure if this is true, you come to help me here, that he dug up some of the piling that was set. Is that true?
He did all what yes, I believe yes, it is true. But the most important one is, you remember for the past couple of years, before maybe Stevenson King administration, Arnold Chastney administration, Kenny Anthony administration, you'd hear the Taiwanese coming out with giving big grants and saying, okay, they're going to do this. Stevenson King at that time got millions of dollars. Each minister got $1 million. Who built their house? You never for the past 4 years saw the Taiwanese coming out with any extravagant grants or anything like that. Mm-hmm. It is because of that capital project that Philip J. stopped. He thought he stopped it he would have crippled the United Workers' Party, but he crippled the ties between Taiwan and St. Lucia.
Right.
Because when you stop the project, because the Taiwanese already said they was going to do the bidding. Mm-hmm. The Taiwanese already said they already have the company to do the work. All we had to do was just secure the head tax. The head tax is still being collected today as we speak, because you can go on meet the minister on Revit, And you can get that clip when I asked the Prime Minister that question.
I'll look for it.
You understand?
So what you're saying, there was not a tremendous burden on the taxpayers with the deal that Mr. Chasney went into. They had taxes, would have paid for the loan. But I need confirmation on this. I also heard, and the Labour Party can correct me too, if those hacks who are not into all the drama and the nastiness, maybe we can start having a conversation. Is it true that the deal that Mr. Chasney went in, the company, the funding organization wanted to use their people to build that airport?
But it's just like the Chinese, you know.
Yeah.
When the Kenny Anthony went into a deal with the Chinese, the similar deal, Guy Joseph said it.
Right.
The exact thing. They source out the contractor, they came in the people, they build the airport, the head tax paid alone. The same thing with Kenny Anthony and ONQ Hospital. The Chinese came in, they built the hospital, and they went. So, and let me give another example before I leave, my brother. The GPH agreement, when they said $1, they're going to rent our port land for $1 a year. And the GP on the DSH project, when Alan Chasney listed 100 and something acres for $1 for 99 years. The difference between those two projects, before I leave, my brother, is that the port, just like the airport, was already generating money because we had already set up a head tax per passenger for the port. And I believe, somebody can correct me if I'm wrong, that head tax was set up to maybe pay back NIC for the expansion of the port we did in Point Seraphine. You understand? So probably I might be wrong on that, but there's a head tax collecting of everybody that came off the ship.
Yeah, I think Mr. Chasney negotiated that, before he was voted out, negotiated the increase that would have helped with actually developing the ports. It would have been a good source. But right now, this government is boasting that there is, I think, a $12 head tax right now.
Exactly.
Where $10 go to GPH.
Exactly. Now we see how much GPH is going to make from that project. Turakim came to St. Lucia. Now, any businessman, as an investor, as a businessman, you understand business, my brother. A man coming for a certain amount of money, you have to give the man something for him to invest his money. The man says he's willing to invest $1 billion. All we have to give him is just give him the platform to invest $1 billion. That $1 billion was the land. The land we give him. Now, that land wasn't worth anything. It was worth something if they want to sell per acre. But they talk about abattoir. Alan Chasney from the abattoir for the land. Where's the abattoir today? Did they ever open the abattoir after that?
No. But Chief,
you know
the truth is, I would not have handed over my port to GPH. Anything else, not the ports. The ports were sure income. That was already there.
My brother.
The bread was already buttered. I needed nothing else.
We could go into agreement for our port because there are global companies that are managing the ports and can bring in more traffic to your destination and those different things. What those guys did was a bad deal.
But my question is,
deal, I believe,
can we say GPH have cruise ships? They have cruise ships out there on the waters that they own?
Well, I do not know.
Right,
but
so would it not be a better deal to talk to Disney Cruise or one of the Carnival Cruise? You're one of these cruise that
we already had one port with Carnival. We already had one port in. That's what I'm trying to tell you. Whether we talk to Disney,
you did say that.
We have home. Alan said already established a home porting for our ports. When he expanded it for mega ships, it was the first time in our history we had mega ships. Because remember, the Queen Mary 2 was the biggest ship that ever entered St. Lucia port before we expanded the port, and it still flooded Castries, you know.
Oh, it did?
That's why. Yeah, it flooded because it didn't come on Point Seraphine side. It came on the container side, and I remember that time by Bank of St. Lucia. That's why they was keeping the Queen Mary 2 outside. But now we had the expansion of the Point Seraphine. The Queen Mary 2 was even too small because mega ships was coming in now. So my point is, my brother, lands in Vieux Fort wasn't producing any money, but the port was producing it. everything that the St. Lucia Labour Party said was a lie. I just want to say, for me not to lose my chain of thought, I also represent the youth, and I believe that right now, to add value, like if you realize what the Japanese does, the Japanese has realized it was an island just like us, and they didn't have any natural resources. And the Japanese thought the only natural resource was a human resource, and that is why Japanese companies like Toyota, all those different companies were invested by the government, and the government take the loans from the people and invest the people into the land itself. So either way, the people have value. That is why when you talk about raising GDP or growing the economy, it is your workforce you have to grow.
Yeah.
You have to make your workforce more skilled laborers, more better equipped for the global challenges, and more competitive. And that is when your GDP will raise. That is why we had $1 billion. For over 40 years, we had $1 billion still. And little Martinique, even if the French is with Martinique, the way the system is, the Martinique is still producing what they're producing. Or Guadeloupe or them different things. And Martinique and Guadeloupe is at $9 billion per year. Wow. We had $1 billion a year. You understand? And Bermuda is at about $4 billion a year. Okay. A small island like Bermuda. What Bermuda have is marketing, connection. We have the low taxes, very, very low taxes, that can attract investors. A lot of move all the red tapes that local people now get the first. You see, what I'm trying to tell you is that I believe the workforce should be the first shareholders of any major project. Whether it's standards coming and invest, the solution people supposed to have at least 20% ownership. Not the government. I don't want to hear about government. I want to see that those dividends going in people's bank accounts.
Yeah, that's right.
Government cannot manage any economy. You see that mess Philip J.P. did. Kenny Anthony said in 2016 he didn't know what happened. Alan Shastney came and do something, but Alan Shastney is on his way out as well. So what we need, because you see that $265 million Philip J.P. took all those billions of dollars of loans. We are the collateral. The people are the collateral. My children that will be paying those loans. Your children that will be paying those loans.
So you have kids right now?
Well, I have a son. Yes, I have a son.
Paul, I want to give you an invitation to co-host the show with me. Are you willing?
I'm willing, but closer to elections. I rather let the people hear the voice before they see the thing.
I know. I'm listening to you, and I'm like, I need a young voice.
There are a lot of people who know me, but I believe it's closer to election now would be the right time for me.
Okay, good.
But for now, what I just want to say, it is high time since we the people, we are a scarce commodity right now. I believe what the youth need right now is stability. We need our own houses. We need our land. We need to take cruise. We need money. We need extra money. So bring down the taxes. Alan Shastney to the 10%. Jose. I still believe it can go to 9%. So that we can track investors, but the first benefactor to any major companies that come and invest on our land, because it's a trust, a trust fund. You know, the trust is in the land. Nobody cannot sell the land. You can develop on the land, but the land is ownership by the people of St. Lucia, and that is written in the law. And then the dividends is coming in our bank accounts, and when the government mandates where there's a lack, we can invest in that lack. Just like the Japanese, so if you follow the Japanese system, they invest in the people. So the Japanese government is the biggest debtor to the Japanese government is the people. So they're selling, the first people they're selling bonds to is the Japanese population. So the first set of people we should be selling bonds to is the St. Lucian people, because we that contribute to the economy. Have a blessed one, my brother. Thank you.
Thank you so much, my friend. Reverend, I really wanted to hear the caller. He made a lot of beautiful points, and I am happy. So let's go over to the Mr. Kakal. We did Benson. Now we are doing Kakal. Now Kakal is going to be in Brooklyn on Saturday, the 30th of August. This is this Saturday coming, all right? And that is at 5 p.m. So from 5 p.m., Kakal is going to be in Brooklyn performing. All right? He's going to be in Brooklyn performing. Now, Kakal he's a candidate of the United Workers' Party for one of the seats there in Vieux Fort, of course, and Kakal, King Kakal, is going to make a grand appearance in Brooklyn. It is the Friends of New York. Now, I don't know about you, but Kakal himself came under some heavy attack from individuals of the St. Lucia Labour Party. All right? Most of you witnessed what he went through, of course, transferred because he performed on a UWP platform as a entertainer. You saw what happened, of course. He was moved, out of place, You saw what they did to him while he was performing, the Labour Party supporters, of course. Kakal is going to be live in New York on Saturday. Mr. Calix Xavier, yes, is going to be performing in Brooklyn from 5 p.m. on the 30th. I am hearing from the organizers that free drinks will be served from 5 to 7 p.m. Now, the cost of this thing is $20. Now, I don't know what event you will get a man coming in from St. Lucia, performer, who happened to have been chosen as a candidate in St. Lucia for a major political party. I believe he was booked before he was selected. Now you have an opportunity to meet an entertainer and a candidate that is going to a rep in waiting, a candidate that is going to make history in Vieux Fort together with Lady Lee. So $20, folks. Now let's go over to Kakal. He's going to do 2 promotions for us tonight. So let's go over to him. But I want to welcome Kakal to the United States as a candidate, as a performer. You'll get to meet him. You'll get to listen to him live perform there with Natty Conqueror and some other folks there. It is going to be, Elita said, I will be there to see Kakal. God bless you, man. Sister, you just got to be there to see him in person and to give him the support, to be a support to him, to let him know, look, the United Workers Party family in the diaspora, we are supporting you. We are standing with you. So those of you in the different communities or tri-state of New York, come out in large numbers and send a signal, just like what we did with Ben. And we going forward, any UWP candidate that comes to the United States, we are going to give them a grand welcome into this place. That's the commitment. I'm going to say it again. Any candidate of the United Workers Party that shows up in New York, in the United States, we are going to spread the red carpet for them because their work is already cut out for them. And I am happy, I'm telling you, with Mr. Xavier, I am happy. I'm excited about him there in Vieux Fort, and I know he will do an extremely good job for the people of that constituency, that community. So let's go to the ads, and then we will come back to have a conversation on this Kakal event. King Kakal.
Admit all what you seen is fuckery. Whoa, yo, yo.
Lucia, man, I'm proud of where I'm from.
Sure. To all my poor people out there, just be strong. Continue struggling and keep holding on. Giving up is not the solution. Listen, so even though the cost of living gets so high and things get tough, nothing.
Stop coming and come. Stop coming and come. Stop coming and come.
All what you you seeing is fuckery. Why yo? Who done your this? Who done your this? What they can do? What they do?
Folks, let me tell you something. If you're proud to be a Lucian and you're really proud to be a Flabo, somebody corrected me. They said, no red carpet. You're right, no red carpet. This is too serious for red carpet. We are going to order from Amazon, not Shein, from Amazon a yellow carpet. A yellow carpet going forward. Any candidate shows up in the United States. And I'm looking forward to having an event for Norbert there in Miku, Elisha Norbert. We got to give him some soulagement. Also, we got to give him some support there. We got to give him some support. Norbert in Miku. But we're here with Kakal. Kakal now is going to be shining on Saturday, the 30th of August. Saturday, folks, if you have families in New York, call them up and tell them, look, go over to the event. You got to show up. It is cheap, $20. An event like that is $100 and something. Listen, you have Gozile, is it Caribbean? They call the other guy a Natty Conqueror. These are powerhouses, talents of St. Lucia. These are talents. Here is your opportunity, folks, to support this event. I don't know. I want your engagement. Okay, Maggie said I will be on Sunday at the barbecue in New York. Okay, all right. So she's going to be. But we want you, Maggie, at the Kakal event on the 30th, because remember, Kakal is performing. He's coming to New York. He came to the United States to perform on the 30th. That is on Saturday evening. All right? So if you're looking for a performance from Kakal, it is going to be only on Saturday. All right? So we have a number. Let's go over to Mr. Natty Conqueror. Let's go over to Natty Conqueror. Natty Conqueror, you know he's been very vocal with his craft and everything else. And so he's going to have the opportunity as a St. Lucian to perform shoulder to shoulder with King Kakal. Let's go over to Natty Conqueror.
Greetings, massive. Brooklyn, New York. This is yours truly, Natty Conqueror.
Sure. To all my poor people out there, just be strong. Continue struggling and keep.
And I shall be performing on Saturday, August 30th, 2025 at 1045 Hegerman Avenue with a thing called Labor Day Party.
So high and things get tough. Natty not giving up. Giving up is not a solution. And even Black Cinderella, I need you so. Yeah, Dread got nothing to lose. Because the more they fight me, the more troubles me up. I was strumming up a dance just the other day.
You don't know, it's been a while since I've not been on some events to perform for you guys. Now is the opportunity for me to meet and greet with the item scene. So come out in your large numbers, come out in your tens and thousands, make it a date and don't be late.
So, first of all, I think Natty Conqueror, need to be exposed. I think Natty Conqueror music is clean. It's not all that vulgar. That is something about his. I'm not into some of those music, but I find his music is conscious and not too dirty and vulgar. And so, it's good to give him that break too, Natty Conqueror. And I like the one, the what's his name? Is it Grozile who sang the song I'm a Born Lucian? That's a beautiful song too, I like that song. It's kind of smooth. It's cool. And there's a number of St. Lucian artists in the United States, in New York, that we do not pay attention to, we do not expose them, you do not support them. And something I realized with St. Lucians, when they're in the diaspora, they don't do a lot of supporting of their local people, whether it's a restaurant or a seamstress or a cook or, some decorative, somebody who does decoration or what you call those little finger foods and stuff like that, you know. We don't support enough, and here's an opportunity to start. You got to start somewhere. We got to be able to bring the diaspora together to work in unison, you know, to bring the support, because the more you support your people is the higher they go, and the higher they go is the better for you. Think about Spencer, Laverne, and what's her name? Our young sprinter there. What's her name again? Look, I forgot her name. Think about it. Think about them. You only celebrate them when they're running. You only talk about them because they have a Lucian flag. Yeah, Lucian. But do you really support them? Do you really support them? You know? So, and even businessmen, people in the construction field, you don't support the electricians, plumbers. Support your own. You know, it's time for all the drama to end, and you start supporting your own. And so I am saying the Friends of New York, they have come together to put a beautiful event. Based on what I'm hearing, it's going to be jam-packed. My advice to you, do not wait to pay at the door. Get your tickets online. The ads are there on Caribbean American News. Get your tickets online. It's only $20. And I'm sure you will have to pay a little extra. Jojo, that's right, Lydia, Jojo. I'm sure you will have to pay a little extra at the door. So don't go through that hassle. Just go online and swipe your card and buy your ticket. So you would be. It's going to be a rush. It's going to be a packed event based on what we're hearing. And I am happy that Flabos can come together, and even non-Flabos, and support Kakal. They bring Calypso right there from St. Lucia, right there in your laps for $20, you know. Can't get that nowhere else. Yeah? Cannot get that nowhere else. Let's also go to Xavier again. He's going to, that's King Kakal, you know.
Brooklyn, this is King Kakal, and you don't know, Labor Day Party, it's happening on the 30th of August 2025, 1045 Hegemon Avenue. You don't know, come there.
Stop coming and come. Stop coming and come. Stop coming and come. You taking too long to come.
Like a brother, don't know, come there. You got me performing live. You don't know, this is Fockery. You don't know, we have other artists passing through, and you don't know, we got DJs galore. Come through, boom, boom, boom.
Blah 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 blah. Ça fait mieux à parler comme ça.
Brooklyn,
so folks, it's going to be, I'm telling you, it is going to be a sold out event on Saturday, on the 30th, in the evening there, you know. So, and there's going to be a lot of, I'm telling you, my ears on the ground. There's going to be a lot of Caribbean foods, of course, the different cultural food, where you can come and get your nice dish. I went to an event, and I kind of, I went to the Denry North event, and I'm telling you, the food was delicious. It was Caribbean flavor. It was, I had chicken backs and something else, some other stuff. They gave me such a massive plate of food. I don't know if because they love me, of course, why they did that, or if that's the regular size, I should have bought two. But I did regret not buying more of the food. But that event, the Brad event fundraiser, Denry North, I went over there to support Brad over there on in Brooklyn. And I am telling you, that fateful night, the food was tremendous. It was as local can be. The chicken back was well seasoned, well clean. The food was put together, it looked like, with love, of course, Flabo love, and it was just a yellow food. It was just tremendous. It was beautiful. So I'm encouraging you, friends, to come hungry. Lots of food, you know, a lot of foods. And on I think from from 5 o'clock. They're saying it is going to be from 5 to 7. You're going to get a free drink. Now, don't ask me what drink it is. I'm sure it's Morby, sorrel, or lime juice. I'm just talking. Those are the things that I drink. Sorrel, Morby, ginger beer, and stuff like that. But please support, and I know that you will support because the Dennery South program meet and greet with Ben was a good turnout, and so I know you will. It's a busy weekend, Labor Day weekend, and here is an opportunity for you to engage with your community, with your own St. Lucian people. Begin to love each other once again. Heal the divide. Start talking to people. Start enjoying yourself. Life is funny. Life is strange. And by the way, after death comes the judgment. So be good to others. Be kindly affectionate one to the other. Learn to forgive. Learn to forget. Learn to move on by the grace of God, friends. We got to build back the community. We got to build back the St. Lucian community, both red, yellow, black, and white. We got to bring it together for the sake of the development of the country. And I am sure when the United Workers' Party gets into power that you will see the attempt to unify the country, to unify the different diasporas, to bring people together like we used to do in order to help with nation building. But you cannot afford, friends, to miss Kakal.
And you don't know, Labor Day party, it's happening on the 30th of August 2025, 1045 Hegemon Avenue. You don't know, come there.
Somebody said one of the ads is saying, let me just look at it, the 31st. No, I think you're looking at the wrong one. You might be looking at the wrong ad. Most of our ads here, it is August 31st. Thank you, Dr. Fletch. Yes, most of it is actually the 31st. Sorry, the 30th. The 31st is the Sunday, but the 30th is Saturday. So it is actually the Saturday. All right? That is, I believe, yes, it is the Saturday evening. The address and all information are there on the tickets on the platform. The numbers, actually, let me just give you the number. I wish somebody can put the numbers on it as I read it. Lydia says the 30th. Yes, is the 30th. I want you to help me share those promotion, folks. We're not asking you for money to share it. Just help us to share the event. Encourage your friends, your loved ones to go and support. So here are some of the numbers for tickets: 347-432-7807. And we have another number here, second number, 347-457-7265. 7265. Remember, you're supporting Kakal, one of our very own, our brother. And Kakal, I should be organizing an interview for Kakal. I am leaving on Thursday, but hold a minute. Somebody's saying there are two events. One is the 30th, the other is the 31st. Two different organizers. Okay, good. Thank you, Lisa, for clarifying that. Yes, so two different organizers. That's why I keep saying Kakal is here in New York to perform only at the event on the 30th. All right? So please, if you miss the 30th, then you're going to miss Kakal's performance, Gozile, Natty Conqueror, and the other performers at that event. So it is, remember, the 30th, which is a Saturday, not the Sunday, okay? Thank you, Lisa, my doodle Lisa, for that that correction. That's why I'm saying there might have been some mix-up with the dates. So it's going to be a jam-packed situation there for that weekend. And I am telling you, Xavier Kakal is going to bring down the house and bring it up. You know why? Because he's excited. He's selected as a candidate, of course. He's going to mash up. Is it Musa? Is he running against Musa? Mr. Mr. Faber, the guy who planted a whole set of male trees with no fruits, no fruit bearing trees, you call it. Yes, Musa, Mr. Saratoga, the leaf spot disease. Remember, he was in charge. Yes, I believe Kakal is all excited to beat him, to remove him off the backs of the citizens of the country. So go there to see the excitement of Kakal. Boy, man, reminds me. Okay, T. Walker says you said that number faster than Jojo. Oh, I said it too fast. Okay, so let me take my time. Somebody please write the numbers for contact for tickets, information. You have today, tomorrow, until Friday to get your stuff together. You know, put on your Lucian colors and go enjoy yourself, man. You put on your Flabo Lucian. Hey, your Flabo Lucian colors. Tout moon, everybody's invited. So let's put the numbers together again. It is 347, and it's WhatsApp 347-432-7807. 347-432-7807. And we have a second WhatsApp number, 347-457-7265. That is 347-457-7265. That's the number that you're going to get. You know what? You know, if I had the opportunity, I would charge you guys $80 for this show. Not $20. Thank you, Doctor. Doctor, you're fast there, boy. I like that. Julian says Kakal is a real entertainer. Thank you, Rachel. Yes. And the second number is 347-457-7265. Yes. So somebody just said, right? Thank you so much, folks. I love you all so much. Somebody just said that Kakal is a real entertainer. So I hope he don't come with his hammer, his screwdriver, and all kind of story. Those things are very cheap at Bobby's. So if Kakal forgot his hammer in St. Lucia and his screwdriver, you all better go at Bobby's and get some for him. A matter of fact, everybody should come with their screwdriver. Everybody should come with their screwdriver. Mercy. Guys, you all got to forgive me, you know. Forgive me, man. When I have fun, I have fun, you know. Who said you can't have fun, folks, you know? But I know that some of those people are a little angry with me, but especially Papa Smurf. Hey, listen to me. It is what it is, Papa Smurf. Ain't nothing you can do about it. But, yes, I would increase actually from $20 to $80. That's what I would have done. I hope Papa Smurf comes in what color can you come in this time? Papa Smurf, you can come in the same blue. You can come in the same blue. Let me leave Papa Smurf alone. Why is me up?
That's a very good question. But what I like the best is how you intend to address it.
Hey, we have a call. Calling you on the air. Caribbean American News Media platform.
Good evening, Brother Garfield. How you doing?
Hey, not bad, you know. Yeah, what's up?
I'm all right. I'm listening to your program. I like the discourse initially, your preamble.
Yes.
In terms of fathers playing their role, because that's we always in any situation there must be a root cause, and so with the crime situation there always has to be a root cause, and one of the root causes of delinquent behavior. It starts with delinquent behavior. Is what I refer to as a broken home. And so collective, both mother and father has to be in that home, that household, to ensure that the kids, the children, stay on the straight and narrow path. And so fathers now don't leave it to the mothers only to direct the kids or to raise the kids. It has to be a collective. There are circumstances where the father cannot be in the household, but they can still play the role as a father. Because of situations, maybe the mother and the father break up because of X and Y reason, which, it just cannot work. They try sometimes in most instances and it's just not working, but that doesn't give the father the liberty or the excuse not to play his or her father role. And so we have to pay close attention. And I'm thinking in the next UWP dispensation, when they form the next government, the Ministry of Family Affairs, if there's such a ministry, should pay close attention to families, the household, get counselors on the ground in the various, and that's a suggestion and an idea. Get counselors on the ground in the various constituencies and meet with those parents. You target the delinquent households.
Yes.
Based on the feedback from there must be a collaboration with the Ministry of Education and the Ministry of Equity. So you target based on the feedback that you're getting from the schools, you have counselors on the ground meeting with those parents or those single parents and have that mentorship with those kids. That is one of the suggestions that I will put forward to the United Workers Party when they form the next government.
And Ian, I support you 100%.
Sometimes it's not always. We must not always take the posture of criticizing. We must also lend solutions or give solutions to the problem.
Ian, you're so right. It's true. And because we have a major problem. Like, for instance, I don't know if you heard Benson on Saturday night saying that Denver is one of the poor communities. The Denver district, of course, is one of the poorest district in St. Lucia. And I know a lot of people were saying, like, don't, that's not true, and blah, blah, blah. But the stacks, when you really investigate, he is right. And we can only deal with these, with the issue of poverty if we understand it and we know how to approach it. And I believe if we approach it the way you said, let's get a lot of people involved in it, counselors, because the counselors, when they go to talk to families, they can also detect whether that person is in need of supplies, food, galvanized, whatever it is, and can also refer them to the agency that is responsible to help them with that type of situation, So we got to approach it, Ian, or we'll continue to have a high level of crime, prostitution, and the different challenges that families, and like I said, some of these families don't want to do all these things, but it's survival. They're forced. They're between a rock and a hard place, Ian.
Yeah, and that's true. And you see, that's where the education, I think that there needs to be a revamping of the education system. I think, too, that's another angle that we're overlooking. The education system, I think, is failing us, some of our young people, and I'll tell you why. You would be surprised to discover, Brother Garfield, that their kids, their children who are secondary school, and they cannot do math. They cannot count. They cannot check, if to use our local parlors. And why is that so? It's because our education system is failing. And so most of those kids, when they get to secondary school and they drop out in Form 2 or Form 3, these are the problems that we start. Because they drop out, they hang around with gangs, because they're looking for companionship. And that's where the cycle can start. And we have to pay close attention to that. I believe, that's my point of view, we must have an education system that identifies the academic and the technical students. Because you see, what we do in our education system, we force children to be academic. And that could be a driving force in them dropping out of school. So from the get-go, if we have a well-targeted and structured education system, then we'll be able to identify those kids and say, you know what, this boy or this young lady, she's not academically inclined, she's more technical. Let me focus on that technical aspect to keep them engaged. Because there are a lot of young people that they don't like the school routine. They just want to know that, okay, I learn a skill, I'm certified in whether it's plumbing or electrical or welding, and you channel that training towards them and get them engaged early in the game so that they will not fall on the wayside. And that is my suggestion to the next incoming UWP government.
Yeah, the government in waiting. Yeah, and you know what? And you were right, because I went to school in St. Vincent also, and we had to, like every Thursday we had to travel from our main school to go to a technical college to learn to weld. We had the choice to choose whatever field we wanted to. We had to either weld, do joinery, electrical, something we had to learn as boys in St. Vincent. You understand what I'm saying? So I think that they should make it mandatory.
There's so much that we have to right that wrong, not just about the corruption and the lack of accountability and transparency. The education system, we have to right that wrong. And so I just want to appeal. This weekend is Labor Day weekend. A lot of activities happening. And just to also indicate that for those of you in New York, let's support the activities and come and give your support to the New York Flurbo Caucus as we hosting our fourth in a series of Labor Day barbecue event, which is this Sunday coming, August the 31st at 2 p.m. This year, there's a change in the location. We moved it to Brooklyn, and it's at 1127 East 86th Street, Brooklyn, New York. They're going to be feature speakers from the leadership of the United Workers' Party. Lots of entertainment. It's a free entrance, free entry. And so we have to right that wrong. At some point, we have to right that wrong. And the way St. Lucia is going right now, the trajectory is not looking good. And so there must be an overhauling of everything. The education system, our healthcare system has to change. Our judiciary has to change. Everything that pertains to government and governance has to change. And so we have to do our civic duty to assist in that change, and we have to right that wrong.
Ian, I have a question for you. Before you go, don't just hit and run, man. One thing, you are such a PR. You were easy, you know. you make sure you pin that in. So let me ask you, you're going to see Kakal on Saturday?
If I get the opportunity, I'm working because I'm working. But once the opportunity
I'll buy the ticket for you.
If I get the opportunity and I get the chance, you know, we always have to support. You know, I'm not one who don't support. We have to support. If it's for a worthy cause and it's something productive, we have to support, and that's my take on that.
All right. So you're encouraging all to support the events.
I'm encouraging everybody. Once the event is a positive and it has a positive objective, you know, I'm not going to say don't support, no. I'm an all-inclusive individual. I'm all-inclusive. I'm all-embracing, you know. And my focus, Brother Garfield, has always been we have a country to save. Right now, we have a government that is clueless. We have a government that they just don't care. We have a government that just the ministers of government, they continue to just insult and they just don't care. They don't want to be accountable to the people. And the government right now, I don't think this prime minister sadly has control of his cabinet. And so we cannot continue like that as a country. And we have to do our collective to get a sensible, more stable government in office. That's my take.
Okay, Ian. Yes. So you take care. Nice hearing you. And
you too, and keep up the good work as usual.
Yes, my brother. Well, thank you so much. Okay, so that was Ian Colgin. Now, let me say to you, friends. Let me see. My friend there. Let me see. My friend. There's something that caught my attention. Let me just try to pull it up. Eva Blake made a very good point, and she said, when you're going to the events, walk with a school bag to donate. And I really like that. I think that's a beautiful thing. So yes, I think that's a good gesture that you get some bags. Now I have 4 bags. I have a family who reached out to me for some school supplies for their kids. So if you're hearing me, please let me know. Send me a text. You know who you are, so that I have the bags here. I have the supplies here for you. I believe 3 or 4 of them I got. So, and I know the Tri-State Caucus, they are going to be organizing under the leadership of Ronnie, of course, interim president of that tri-state caucus. I think we had a conversation, and so she might be rolling out some supplies. Like she said, it's not too late for us to engage with our school children on the island. So she too have a plan, based on what I'm hearing, to do some distributions of bags. But I have some personally from Caribbean American News for the individual who reached out to me last week. If you know yourself, I can't get the message, so resend another message so I can know that you're there, so that we can get it forwarded to you. We'll try to figure out how to get it urgently. Maybe see if somebody who's going down, I don't know the weight Kakal is going to have when he's leaving, or so one of the guys who are here, if they can actually do us a favor to get you this package emergency so your child can go to school on Monday. I believe school opens. Is it Monday or something like that? You can get to school with the new bags, all right? But folks, let's continue to love on each other, and let's continue to focus on the mission, and that is to remove this government off the backs of the people. I want you folks to think about this: the insults and humiliation that our women go through from the government of St. Lucia, the insult, the body shaming by the government of St. Lucia. I want you to think about that and right that wrong. That's a wrong that need to be right, that we got to right. It's a wrong that needs to be right. That one in itself. The GPH deal, it's a big wrong that need to be right. Our hospital, big wrong, need to be right. The airport, a big wrong that need to be right. The lack of information, a big wrong that need to be right. The confusion with the government and the police, a big wrong that need to be right. Because you can't tell me that there's a statement out that the exhibits or the evidence disappeared, and we are hearing now whispers that it didn't really disappear, it's there. That is suspicious. That is concerning to me. Something is wrong. That is not just it missing and it come back. This need a major investigations, because we don't know what came back, if it's the original, the real thing, it was tampered with, what happened to these evidence, we don't know. And the Prime Minister is saying he don't know either. Imagine the Prime Minister saying he heard just like us. He heard, but officially he have not heard. That's what he said to us. And he don't interfere in the police business, basically. And nobody's asking you to interfere. We want you to know, as the minister responsible for our national security. We want you to know. You're supposed to get press briefings on these major developments in the nation when it comes to national security. Never come to us as a people. Any Prime Minister of St. Lucia, whether it's Alan Chasney or Philip J. Pear, don't come to us and tell us you don't know. And you're not interfering. You must interfere in the sense that get the information, make the calls, what's going on, give me an update, give me a briefing, come into my chambers immediately. You got to know. So this is a wrong, folks, that we must right. It is a serious wrong in our society that we must right. You hear me, folks? And that's all I'm saying on that. That's all I am saying on that. So, folks, you guys have a beautiful rest of the evening. And, I'm just out. I am out. Thank you so much for your support. And I do apologize for the break that we had because of something went wrong. Maybe the system needs to be upgraded. Something needs to be done. But it is what it is, folks. It was good having you. I enjoy every moment with you on the platform. Every one of you, I love you with the love of God. And I look forward to a time when all of us will be together. And not only together, we're going to celebrate together. Can you imagine the excitement? Swan people celebrating. Folks, goodbye. Appreciate every one of you. Thank you so much.
This is King Kakal, and you don't know, Labor Day party. It's happening on the 30th of August 2025, 1045 Hegemon Avenue. You don't know, come there.
Stop coming and come. Stop coming and come. Stop coming and come. You taking too long to come.
Like a brother, you don't know, come there. You got me performing live. You don't know, this is Pokari. You don't know, we have other artists passing through, and you don't know, we got DJs galore. Come through, boom, boom, boom.
Blah 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 blah.